3, 2, 1, here we go. In chess, the King's Indian defense is one of the most important defenses. You need to know how to play against it. So first question must be, what is the King's Indian and what is he going to show you? What setups is he going to show you to play against it? So we will take it from the top. You will face this opening with white in your chess career when you play d4. Knight f6, c4, g6. White has 2 pawns in the center and black is ready to fianchetto the bishop. White goes knight c3, and after bishop g7, it looks like white is being a little bit greedy, getting the full center for themselves. Pawn to e4 and now d6, stopping white going forward with e5. And now after knight f3 castle, this is the starting position. Why do people want to play this opening with the black pieces? They want to keep lots of pieces on and they want to create a kingside attack. Central pawn breaks coming very soon. And after bishop e2, there's so many responses for black. We are going to look at e5 first, and in this position we're not going to take. That will be the exchange variation. No thank you, that's a bit too boring. We're going to go pawn to d5, and with this move we are getting more central space. So first thing to understand is when you play against the King's Indian with the white pieces, you will have more space than your opponent. Look at the blue arrows, you're controlling so many light squares, and black, look at the green arrows, you're controlling so many dark squares. We are going to look at so many different positions. In the final chapter I will show you will be the most important move, which is knight a6, and then I'm going to recommend this aggressive move, bishop g5. That will be the final chapter. Every single key moment, there'll be a timestamp in the comments below, so then you can flick through these positions in your own time. Just keep flicking back and forth in this video in the future. So we are going to take it from this moment. Now, so many moves for black. Well, with black, the King's Indian defense, they want to get the pawn break f5 in because they want to go f4, g5, g4 once we've castled. That is going to be very dangerous for us. So one option is they go knight to h5. They come in. So f5 is here. So here we just take a move out to play g3. Now what happens if they play f5? They can't, because now you can actually take. This is a well-known opening trap. Very common. So already in 9 moves, our opponent has made a small error. If they take with the bishop, then we can actually use this square to our advantage. Knight to g5. Not only that, you are hitting the bishop with the queen. The knight should drop back, and then we can actually get even more space. g4, and here you can go bishop e3, h4, but you can even play this really funky, really crazy looking move c5. What's the point? I'm really glad I did this video because I'm also learning as well these really cool engine moves. What's the point of this move? If they take queen b3, now we're hitting both. You defend, you don't even need to go d6 check, even though I think that's okay, but black gets a few too many pawns. You can go h4, h5 as well. Knight e6. The knight can just hop into e6, and now this position is looking a bit too strong. Pawn to e7 is now threatened with a check. So if they block, that's a blunder, g5. That plus or minus symbol, it means white is winning. Take, the knight moves, and now knight d5. Something like this. So all of these moves, they're just so powerful for white. Knight d5, the queen moves. If here e7, winning both. Oops. Oh, I don't like it when my mouse does that. Oops. Flicking through the moves a bit too fast. Doesn't matter, we pick up the pace from here. Knight d5, hit the queen, take, and now knight e7 check. Really cool discovered attack. What a cool move here, c5. Just really wanted to show you that discovery. So really, in this moment, summary for the first key moment, you need to play g3, and if they go f5, you take. Or if they take this way, then we have this tactic. Knight takes pawn. If take, we have just won a pawn. But if they take here, it's called an Zwischenzug. Really fun German word to say. It means in-between move. It means intermezzo. They attack our rook. So both knights are hanging. Doesn't matter. Just keep calm. Take back. And here in this kind position, we are much better. This is a really cool move actually. Flick the bishop in. And now let's draw a few arrows to discuss all the possibilities. Here we go. In my opinion, this is actually one of the top moments in the videos I create. Drawing lots of arrows to show you the plan. So bishop h6. The rook is also in the game, and the rook can hit h7. The queen can come out. d2, c2. We're ready to castle. When that happens, the rook can actually fling over here, can switch over to the g file, and then we can go g4, g5. This is already looking strong. Next moment. Now, after this, g3. This is another key moment. f5, take. Now, knight takes. I know I've just said this already. There's a small... What's another moment? Take here, and then you can go bishop e3. Yeah, that's another choice. 10 seconds ago, I just showed you bishop h6. That's fine. That was a top computer option. Bishop e3, another option. Why not? Many ways to play. And then here, these... Just showing lots of arrows with lots of plans. The two bishops control so many squares, shown by the green arrows. The blue arrows, there's a lot of light square control here. The yellow arrow, we are hitting h7, and the queen can come up to d2, c2, and we can castle. Lots of ideas going forward. They might attack us. It's fine. You can take, and then that bishop is very strong. Just swap it off. Just swap off the defender. And can you see the black king has no shelter? Lots of arrows again. The queen controls so many dark squares. The blue arrow, now the knight can jump in. The bishop can go to d3. The yellow arrows, you can castle, and then the rooks can go to d1. Next key moment. What if they get the knight out of the way? Now, because the knight is not there, we can actually go pawn to h4. Really creative move that I discovered when creating this video. If they go f5, now you go h5. Just trying to break open. Now, normal King's Indian player, they might go f4. You take, and then you break it open. Who is attacking who? That's the funny thing in this kind of situation. Imagine you might play the worst move ever, which is actually castle. Now, you are getting completely smushed, you could say. You're just getting totally crushed with this attack. This is the worst kind of situation you will get if you are white and playing against the King's Indian. You are getting attacked by all these pawns. You can see the pawns are facing our king anyway. So that would be the worst situation. Do not go into this. So here, who is attacking who? It is us, because after pawn to g3, our king has not castled. We are blowing open their position. If take, you can just take back, and then here the bishop can come in here, and then the arrows, just like before, very similar. g3. g5 we can take, and then now we can just get the queen out of the way. Here, 1, castle, and then fling the rook over. We are in charge, really. Can you see the two blue lines? Both rooks control the G and the H file. The pressure will be too much. Also, we can flick in c5 later. b4, c5. Even when we've castled queenside, we can still go b4, c5. But really, you know what? Just be sensible. Castle, put the two rooks there, and then let's go red arrow. The knight can even jump in. Next moment. Okay, h4. Let's say they stop it with pawn to h6. Now we go g3. What's the point? We're waiting for our opponent to go a little bit wrong. They might go f5. That's fine, we can take. That's the cool thing. Now, normally, they will take with the pawn. h5. That is the new idea for me. I've never seen this formation before. We play h5, and now our knight can actually jump into g6. Something like this is already looking pretty strong. Bishop f4, I don't really mind, and now something like this, there are just so many possibilities. We're attacking the pawn, they might go king here, and same kind of plan, guys. Same kind of plan. Move the, we're going to castle, and then move the rook over, and then we can go g4. It's just such a nice plan, as shown with these arrows, green, blue, red. Lots of plans. Who is attacking who? That is really one thing I'm showing in this video. Just turning it around, it looks like they are using the King's Indian defense, but it turns out we are attacking them. Next moment. Okay. h4. Knight f6. What if they actually go back? I know that's a very funny move, but I just want to show you this cool option, which I've never seen before. That's why I'm putting it in the video. Because now we shouldn't go h5, because take. You go knight h2. These are such niche, such specific moves. But doing research for this video, I've got to put it in, or else discovering something is not used. Knight h2, what's the point of this retreating move? We're going to go pawn to h5, start an attack. Now, the best move, they need to stop it. Because if they don't, we go h5, something like this. h5, h6, lock up that bishop, and then just pin. The guy can't move. They basically cannot move. Something like this. and everything is covered. So if you are playing someone who is paying attention, they should go h5, and then we blow it open. So I've said this before, I say it again because it's so important. Who is attacking who? The setup I'm presenting in this video is that we are attacking our opponent. Really cool discoveries on this channel, on this video. You can even take, bishop g5, there's no rush to take that pawn because we will capture it very soon. Knight g4, the pin is so strong, and here you can take, you can even go check, and now the other knight dances to the other corner. Really cool formation with the white pieces. Looks like the knights are just hopping about and attacking all of the weaknesses. Really cool discovery, and now you can just go h5, just blow open. Just blow open the position. Really cool tactic here. Tactics flow from superior positions. What does that mean? If your position is really good, you just keep improving your position. There must be a knockout blow. There must be a tactic where you finish your opponent. Knight f7, check. What a cool move. You have to take, and now check. We're going to win the rook. Check. And then come back. Next moment. Right, here we go. Now we get to the best kind of responses, and then at the end of the video, it will be the best response black can play. But even then, white still gets a good position, according to me, according to what I have discovered. So knight a6, the knight comes here. Now, you can play a cool move. I don't want us to play bishop g5 because black gets this annoying response. Pin, they break the pin, and then now they go after our bishop. I don't like this kind of position. The knight actually has a really cool journey into the f4 square now, where I'm not saying we're in trouble. It's just not the kind of position I want. After f5, something like this. This is, I think white's still a bit better, but it's not enough for the viewer, for you to watch this video. So knight a6, and here knight d2. Early knight retreating move. What's the point of this? Now, we can't go. They can't go knight c5 because we just go b4 and then a3. We already have so much space. So this is not possible. They've just wasted time with their setup. If they go out the way, we can now go h4. h4, then knight b3. But really, the last few moves were a waste of time. So now the next key moment. Let's say they don't waste time. Knight a6, yeah. So knight d2, bishop h6, that's the best move. I'm going to show that very soon. But what if they go knight e8? Well, they can't, remember, they can't go knight h5 because we can take now. We can take. So they should move the knight out the way. Why? Because pawn to f5, and now they get in their pawn break. Here, when the knight moves out the way in certain positions, we can now go pawn to h4. Really cool move. And now h5. Just trying to break open their structure. f4, we can take, and then go g3. They shouldn't lock it up, really. Take, and then we can go g3, even bishop g4 probably. Or we keep the tension. Here. Another option, they might take in the center, and then the knight comes in the game. And then all our pieces are in the game. You can go bishop g5 here, but really, let's take a pause. White has more space. The knights are now in the game, supported in the center. The bishop can come out here. The h-file, that can open up any time. So let's open it up now, and then the bishop can go to g5. Overall, white has a lot of space. This is a good position. Now, I'm going to show you the best setup. That one, bishop h6. Oh my goodness, if your opponent plays this, they are so aware. Now, another cool discovery. If they play this move, well, they want to put pressure here and then put pressure here in the center. You want to go h4. I love flicking in this move whenever there's a chance to present it. Pawn to h4. Now we go h5. No, h5. You just open up that position right now. And after take, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that they take. Because now the queen can sit here. The lines are just going to open up. It doesn't even feel like we're down a pawn because the bishops will open up. The knight moves out the way. We can take. The bishop can even go to b2. Or he can go to the h6 diagonal. Something like this might happen. Open it up. See, they can't take back. Because queen h6 is already too dangerous. Good. Bishop h6. What's another cool moment? h4. What's another? If they go queen e7, how about? Now we go h5. Fine. h5. Can't take, because this is the whole point, guys. This is the whole point. Bishop, queen, and rook are lined up. I love this creative journey. And also, it's a good move anyway. They might get the bishop out of the way. And now another cool move. Knight to f1. I love this rerouting idea. The knight goes back to f1, to g3, or to e3, and then white is just holding the position. White has a lot of space. This is looking good. Bishop takes c1. Take with the queen. The queen can come in the game. Queen c2. Yeah, take with the queen, and then here, queen c2 first, knight e3, and then we've just got more space. Something like this. Position full of tension. I've drawn a few arrows. Move the rook over to g1. Oh, sorry, to h2. And then the rook can go to h1. The h file might open up. Something like this. I really like the setup here. Right, in this moment. Now we go to this moment. f4, c5, g5. No, next chapter. Right. That one, no. Okay, now we take it from this moment. Another key move is, before we get to a5, knight d7. What's the point? It's almost the same thing. You can go here, it's fine. Right. Let's go bishop e3. You can go bishop g5. I don't want that yet, because I don't really want to go this direction. So, no. Right, so here, if they go knight d7, bishop e3. Now, this is the perfect setup, which I'm going to show you very soon. When we achieve this, then we have a fantastic position. Two bishops in the center, the two knights. You can look at the red arrows. Those pawns control so many squares. If we get this, then later on, I'm going to show you how to play. It's just such easy moves. You're going to go b3, a3, b4, hit the knight, c5, and we can get the pawns rolling really fast. What if they attack us? Then you attack the queen. And then you just drop the bishop back to d2. It looks like we've wasted move. No, it's fine. After f5, h3, we can kick their knight away. Something like this. Take. The knight can go to g5. Really cool move. Remember that? I'm going to put exclamation mark, because the knight is now hopping in to e6. That's why black has to be a little bit careful. If they go f5, we've got this knight g5 jump. They might go knight c5. It's fine. We kick their knight away, and now we kick their knight away as well, because their move, they wasted a bit of time, really. Look at this position. It's just full of tension, but that's why we play the King's Indian. We play against it. Rook b1. And then here, lots of space. The point is, you're going to jump in pretty soon. If they kick us away, we jump in anyway. Take. And now we've got possibilities. That is a really cool tactic I'm going to show you in 10 seconds. If they go queen e7, it looks like we've just chucked a pawn. Now we can go knight d5. That's the cool tactic. They can't do this because b5. Hit the knight, it needs to move, and then we can take on c7. We're hitting both the queen and the rook. Let's go back 2 moves here. So after this, knight d5, take, and now arrow discussion. Here we go. The blue and the red arrow show that queen a4 is coming, and then we might even take the knight. The pawns are quite strong in the center. We can castle very soon. Good. Right, so now we will take it from this kind of middle game. And let's see, how did we get this position? We'll take it. There are two key moments. It's either b4 or f3. Now, how did we get this? I'm going to take it from the top. I think so, yes, or else we are losing track. So let me make sure I fix this now. Here we go. So, starting position. Here, we'll take it from here, and then I will reach that position now. This is also a good review. We get the King's Indian here, knight f3. We will castle. Bishop e2, e5, d5, and now a5. Right, let me go to chapter 8 now. Oh, let me go to chapter 8.1. Right, b4, this kind of position. We're getting space, yes. Now I go back to chapter 14. You might be thinking, what's he doing? I can't get everything, right? So I'm afraid just be a bit patient here. d5, a5. Or knight a6 first. Let's have a look. a5. Bishop g5. Bishop g5 we pin. If they make a mistake with knight to a6, now we can go knight d2. If they go h6, bishop can come back to e3. we are now going to that key middle game. Bishop e3, knight c5, now we can castle. So what's the point of this? This is the setup you want against the King's Indian. Bishop g5, drop it back, remember this, and then we can just slowly attack this structure. b3, and then they might go here, a3, f5. Right, now this is the position. Normal moves in the King's Indian, we go pawn to f5, attack the center, fine. Now we go back to that key moment, chapter 8.1 here. b5 and now b4. No, we should take a move out to defend our center with f3. That is chapter 8.2 here. There. All right, much better. f3. Don't play b4, okay? You can. This is still good for white, but I want to make sure you have a sensible pawn center in this moment. f5, f3. Defend the center, and if they go f4, which is a normal situation anyway, the bishop can go back, and now we can. That's a bad move. We go b4. Our attack is too fast. Our attack is way too fast. Take, hit the knight. The rooks face each other. Doesn't matter. The rooks might come off, but then we get this dream situation. The queen takes it. Now rook b1. Let's have a look. Every piece is on a perfect square. Light square control here. The queen and rook are doing a great job. And now b5, c5 coming pretty soon. Probably c5. And then even knight b5. But even this, which I've just seen. Bishop can come to take on a6. Right, here we go. Bishop e3. Is this the next moment? Let's see. Yes, bishop e3. This, don't play bishop e3. Play bishop g5. I'm going to show you why this is wrong. Because after knight g4, bishop g5, hit the queen, f6, bishop h4. And now black gets this expansion. Which I don't really want. So we want to go bishop g5 instead. h3 is okay, but then castle, and then they might go f5. So I'm going to reject this. So bishop g5, let's take it from here. h6, bishop back. It looks like we've wasted move, but this pawn is actually a weakness. I'm going to show you a really cool situation. Famous game in London between Kramnik and Nakamura in 2009. Knight g4, hit the bishop. Okay, we go back. Bishop d2, and now f5. Normal moves for black in the King's Indian. h3, attack the knight, it goes back. It looks like black has done a fantastic job. We are definitely not going to castle, okay? That is a terrible move. Not only do we drop the central pawn, but f4. It's just so easy to attack, and we've got a silly looking pawn on h3. Do not go for this. So, what's a cool situation? After h3, knight f6, take. Normally, they take back with the pawn. And now we put pressure in a really funny way. Queen c1, hit the pawn on h6. The normal move, they tend to defend with the king. They might go king to h7, and now the lines just open up. Just go g4. Open up the king side now. This is an absolute disaster, okay? Absolute disaster. Boom. And then that is basically mate. Queen h6. That is a cool mate. What a cool opening trap, but really cool moves for white anyway. Let's go back a few steps. Your opponent should not fall into that straightaway. Also, taking should not be good because they open up the h-file. That is no good at all. Or if they go f4, now you go g5. You go queen c2 check first. And then g5, I don't mind. And this is already way too strong. You can even go rook g1 first. Just take here. Normal situation with the arrows. Green arrow showed the knight and the queen. h7. Checkmate pretty soon. Not at the moment. The black knight is defending. We can castle. Look at the blue circle. Get the rook to g1. And then h4, h5, h6. Trying to crash through in style. Now after queen c1, they might block with f4. Now we go g3. We just break it open. We break open the structure, and then if they take, then take. This is already looking really good anyway. Queen c1 here, king h7. You can throw in a check. Throw in a check, they have to waste time in the castle. I mean, look at the king side all open up. No, no good. Right, now this is the dream situation. Knight a6. If they play this mistake, now we reroute our knight. And I said it before, but it's so important. This is why it's a nice way to play against the King's Indian. Knight d2. And if they kick it away, we don't go here. We go here. Knight c5. Castle. And I showed this already, but now different kind of expansion. Just want to show you maybe black's best setup. That's what I mentioned earlier in the video. Black's best setup, where they try to hold the position as much as possible. B3, normal move. Careful, okay? Don't go A3 because they have A4. That's so annoying. So I'm going to give that as a bad move, and that is a good move because now en passant is possible. We can't really do this because after take, they take in the center. That's the problem. So our expansion, our plan to get space is so important on the queen side. Here, you need to do it slowly. B3, A3, then B4. So green, blue, and then red. Moves 1, 2, 3, just slowly expanding. B3, here. Knight E8, why? Because the normal, we've seen it so many times. Rook B1, just preparing. F5, just be sensible. Remember this, it's just such a cool setup. Anyway, have a look at this. Pyramid setup in the center. Getting lots of central space, really cool setup. Our opponents might make the mistake of F4, G5, but you might think, why is William saying it's a mistake? It's normal King's Indian plan. That's why White's setup is so good. White is actually much faster on the queen side. If I put a box all around this side, you're going to go A3 and then B4. This is the best setup, by the way. In the previous video, I think I just did maybe something normal. After B4 take, this, well, it's just so fast. Do you remember this? It was so fast, and then the rook can go to A1, C5. This is such a fast way for White to play. So, you might even play this cool move. Here, and Queen C1. Why is that a cool move? Because B5 now locks up the bishop. And even C5, so actually gaining a bit of time. So they might go back, and now C5. Things are opening up. We're going to take here, knight C4, even the knight can go to B6, the queen can come up, the rook can go here, offer a trade, maybe move the other rook as well. So many possibilities for White. So after B3, knight E8, rook B1, F5, F3, lock it up, and now A3, and then here. This might be the best move for Black. It looks a little bit tragic. It looks a bit bad, but Black is trying to hold on for as long as possible. B4, hit the knight, it goes back, and now there are a few moves to continue. Knight B3 is such a sensible move. Even knight B5 is possible, but let's stick with knight B3, and let's take a pause and discuss this position. Arrows, C5 is the pawn break. Controlled by the rook, you can slide it over. Even the bishop controls the C5 square as well. And then if we can get that break in, we're good, like that. Already it's just looking so good. This is a disaster. They should swap pawns off first, but that will be an absolute disaster. Complete and utter disaster. Even this cool move. Wow, knight A4. Because I've got the engine on just to keep checking lines. I can't get everything right. Knight A4 first, then the knight come. They can't take, because after take, then we've got so much light square control. The bishop can come in. That pawn is dropping. We are just trying to obliterate, just trying to tear up the queen side. Let me draw the arrows a bit better. That's the next move. That one, you can come in. The rook can come in here. Bring the other rook. You see the queen? Let's put that in yellow. Maybe she can go here as well. Lots of dynamic ways for White to play. Looking good. And that is the King's Indian defense from the White side. So many good lines. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite line. I've got lots of timestamps for every single key chapter. There's so much to cover in this one opening video on YouTube, but every single timestamp is possible for you to look. Just go to any section below and let me know in the comments which was your favorite. I will write down every single setup for you to look back on. Here we go, my normal way to end the video. Catalan video in the top left corner, 5,200 views, and then bottom left corner, next top opening video, 4,000 views, the Budapest Gambit.